والله يدعو إلى دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm your host on this episode of Ghaza Massacre. I have with me today to speak about some of the events that have been unfolding in Gaza, Gamal Nakroma from the foreign desk at the Ahram Weekly. Assalamu alaikum, Gamal.
Alaikum.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Before we go to Brother Gamal and speak about the issue at hand, just to remind you that if you want to send us some feedback about what you're seeing on today's program, you can send an email to feedback@huda.tv. Brother Gamal, we've got over 900 deceased, martyred women, children, young adults, over, say, 4,000 injured, wounded, as they like to call them, over 25,000 displaced people in this tightly packed community of 1.5 million Palestinians. What is the latest in terms of our situation? How do we go about looking at this? It's getting bleaker and bleaker. They don't seem to be ending. They've just started using phosphorus weapons, burning people now. This Holocaust, if I can use this word, and I'm going to use it, this Holocaust, it doesn't seem like it's ending.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I believe that this whole tragedy was triggered, especially before the Israeli elections and before the new administration of Barack Obama in the United States. So the timing was of particular importance. I believe that many Israeli politicians have stated quite categorically that the current offensive would not end until a new administration of Barack Obama is in place in the US, in Washington.
I mean, the people who are watching today, the Muslims around the world, let's say the people of good faith around the world, they see these atrocities increasing every day. And like some people say, over 25% of those who have passed away, have died, are children. How responsible have the foreign international community, especially the Arab countries, been in dealing with this? Because they know more than you and I in terms of what's going on. It's quite clear. We get foreign ministers from Israel visiting Arab countries just before this atrocity starts taking place. How do they see this, and how do these people come to answer?
Well, as I said, from the Israeli perspective, it's a cynical game designed presumably to put an end to Hamas's political future. Obviously, they know that that's not possible. They cannot achieve that. From the Arab government sides, it really shows the impotence and the weak position of Arab and Muslim governments throughout the world. However, having said that, the popular response, and not just in Arab and Muslim countries, but all over the world, in Western countries, Jewish communities in Western capitals, and the people in South America, in Asia, South America, obviously where it's mostly non-Muslim.
I'm going to stop you here for 1 second, Gamal. It's because seeing the reaction of the Muslim world, the Arab world, we have somebody who I would call a bit of a hero coming from South America. I mean, Hugo Chavez, whatever he says about America and the way he feels, here's a man who's not a Muslim, is not ethnically related or religiously related to these people. It may be a political statement, But, he's probably the only person who stood up, has expelled a minister or an ambassador, an Israeli ambassador. What sort of sign does that give to the Muslim Arab world? There's somebody thousands of miles away who says, I'm standing up for the Palestinian people. I mean, what sort of sign does this give them?
Well, this is the solidarity. This is the solidarity of the underdog throughout the world. And as you point out, he is the only leader that has, Hugo Chavez, that has had the courage to expel the Israeli ambassador. Now, most Arab countries and many Muslim countries do not have diplomatic relations with Israel. However, it is well known that they do have ties, economic ties, and different bilateral relations, which are well known. It's an open secret. And so that collaboration has triggered some of the anger that we've witnessed in the demonstrations around the world.
I've got a comment here, and I just want to read it out to you. Ahmed Olmert, the PM for Israel, says, "We are close to achieving our goals in this war." I mean, how close are they to really this main goal of suppressing Hamas? Hamas don't seem to be suppressed from what I can see. They're still firing away. They're with the people. The people are calling out their name. This is not somebody who's taking power just due to a vacuum. How close are they to?
If anything, this current offensive, Israeli offensive, the aggression, would galvanize Palestinians in Gaza and elsewhere around Hamas. It would make Hamas a very popular political alternative. And I think militarily they've failed so. Even today as we speak, the Palestinian the Hamas missiles hit major Israeli cities, southern Israeli cities, including Beersheba and Ashkelon and Sderot. So this means that even militarily they are unable to suppress Hamas, not just politically, but militarily as well.
Okay, we're going to carry on the subject in a few minutes. We've just got a telephone call by Dr. Ahmed Al-Mufri. He's a member of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabian Shura Council, also Vice President of the Arab Parliament Forum. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor. Are you with us?
Wa alaikum salam, yes.
Doctor, if I could ask you, you're here in part of an Islamic country, a very strong Islamic country. You have a Shura Council, members there, speaking about this issue. What role are you playing, or are you supposed to play, or should you be playing in what's actually happening today in Palestine?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And first of all, let me express my sorrow and anger of what is happening in Gaza. And that's not acceptable by any means by those settlers who are doing this massacre to our brothers and sisters in Gaza. And let me focus on children especially, because what sins or what have they committed to be massacred that way? I mean, this is not acceptable to any society. It's not acceptable to any individual, any human being on earth. And it is very bad, and it is very